Sarah Rumpf here, contributing editor at Mediaite, America's premier website for news about the news. I don't know whether to be embarrassed for the Times or just kind of figure, okay, they're over on the partisan dark side in the way so many other media organizations are.
Thanks for having me, Leland. You know, I went and read that New York Times article, and then something didn't quite sit right with me, and I went and read it again. And nowhere in the article does the reporter actually indicate she has firsthand information. Now, I want to say this really carefully because mental health is serious. I am glad that Senator Fetterman is being open and transparent about it. I'm glad he's getting help. And if his doctors are telling him that he needs peace and quiet and needs to stay away from social media, then that's what he needs to do. But to report these things as factual statements from what it appears to be hand-wrapped little gifts from his chief of staff, I'm not sure that's reporting. When you go back and I encourage people to read the article, look it up on the New York Times website and read it line for line yourself and figure out, does the reporter actually know that he has a sense of humor, that he's actually doing these things, that this is actually how he's functioning day to day? I don't think we actually know that.
They didn't even interview him. I mean, it's very clear they didn't they didn't interview him, and unclear if they even saw him. What's the purpose of the Times doing this story?
You know, it is a matter of public interest. It is something that's been in the news. Writing the article, I don't think is a problem, but the way it was presented as very one-sided, almost as if it was a PR campaign release, that's problematic.
Right, no, when I read it, I thought this is something that would come from Fetterman's press shop. But you said something really important about the senator being honest and transparent. We know during the campaign they weren't honest and transparent about his health. I was at the debate. It is impossible to believe that he had full cognitive ability. We were told he was going to get so much better. He didn't. We didn't hear anything about the depression that allegedly he suffered after his stroke and during the campaign. You say he's being honest and transparent, and obviously that's what his chief of staff, Adam Jentelson, wants us to think. Quote, "We were honest with people about what's going on. We put it out there," said Adam. "The attacks will be what they're going to be, but the attacks aren't going to be any worse if he has to go back in an extra few weeks. The main thing is for him to come out and not have to go back." The media's job is to ensure and check whether people are being open and honest.
Right.
I can't see anything in this article. They even talked to an independent doctor.
Yeah, and you know, his doctors would not be able to release information about his private medical treatment anyway.
Well, sure, sure they would.
Yeah.
A point of fact,
if he gave them permission.
Well, absolutely.
If he gave them permission.
Absolutely, if he gave them permission. Which, if you're being open and transparent, as the good chief of staff says, and as the New York Times is reporting, then you can release whatever you want. Right.
And he could authorize that. Now, you know, when I said open and transparent before, I meant about the fact of why he was getting treatment, that it wasn't a cardiovascular issue. It wasn't because he had pneumonia or COVID. It was for depression. I think it is good that they disclose that. Now, again,
to be fair, truthfully, we don't know that any of this stuff is true because there's been no independent reporting on it, right? We're just taking his office's word for it, as I guess did the New York Times. Never a more important time, especially when you think about what's going on in East Palestine. Sarah, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Leland. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.